The date was September 27th, 2015. On that evening, there was going to be a total lunar eclipse. What's that? Eclipse of the moon. And there were 1,000 people standing in front of me, waiting to see it. And they were pissed off, because it wasn't there yet. And I had to do something. So let me tell you what happened. First, a little background. It's worthwhile to recap what the heck is a total lunar eclipse. Back to your science class, don't forget. Here we are on Earth. You've got the sun way over there. You've got the moon over there. And when they are in a perfect alignment, the sun casts a shadow. The Earth puts that shadow out to the moon. The moon, going around the Earth every 29 days, passes through, and it takes about an hour and a half. And it goes through this dark shadow, and it changes into something beautiful, what we like to call the blood moon. And it's quite profound to see. And people get very excited about moments like that. So, as someone who likes astronomy and who has it as a hobby, I created an event. Now, why would I bother to create an event to watch an eclipse of the moon? 3 years ago, I was living in San Francisco. I was a member of the San Francisco Amateur Astronomers. We're a bunch of people who think it's really fun to get together with telescopes, look up in the sky, and share what we see. So sometimes we do this ourselves, but often we do this for the public. We set up our telescopes, we show off an interesting conjunction of two planets, we get together for a meteor shower, we get together and do something called a star party. Anyone ever been to a star party? It sounds kind of geeky, and it is, but on the other hand, it's a beautiful moment. It's when people like us get together with a telescope, and we get out in the darkness, and we look up and we enjoy what we see. It's actually a rather beautiful connection. It's extraordinary, to be perfectly honest. And that's why I do it. And that's why a bunch of us in the club love getting together, especially when there's going to be this magic moment, this big eclipse, for example, and show off the sky. So, here's an event 6 months in advance. We know it's coming in September. We start talking about it. We're going to plan to do this event in San Francisco. Why? Because this particular eclipse is going to happen in a very interesting geometry where the moon, as it goes around the Earth, has sometimes these moments when it's very close. And when it's full and it's close, we call it the supermoon. We hear about that sometimes. It's a new marketing buzz term right now. And the supermoon was going to be also in total eclipse. Pretty exciting. And furthermore, it was going to be rising out of the east just as the sun was setting in the west. And we thought that's got some poetry to it. So let's make an event in San Francisco, because what's to the east? If you're standing in San Francisco, you've been over to the bay. It's surrounded by water on all sides. You've got a Golden Gate over there in the Pacific Ocean, and over there you've got the East Bay Hills and the San Francisco Bay. And what more would you want to see but standing at the bay, looking out across the water, watching an eclipsed moon rise up over the East Bay Hills? Very cool, we thought. So we got together, we planned this. We're going to bring some telescopes out, and we talked to our friends at the Exploratorium, which for some of you here, it's like a miniature version of the Deutsches Museum. It's a hands-on science place where you see cool things. And the Exploratorium, of course, being equally like-minded geeks, said, what a great idea. Let's do an event together. Right here at Pier 15, right here at the waterfront, right next to the Exploratorium. We'll promote it, we'll talk about it. I used to do some radio stuff back in San Francisco, so I got on the radio and I was talking about, woohoo, September 27th, come on out, 7 o'clock in the evening, we'll be there with our telescopes. Come hang out with us, because you're going to love it. And it was in the newspaper, and it was on television, and pretty soon, it was Sunday, the 27th. Now, the one ingredient you need to pull off a successful astronomical event of any kind, of course, is clear skies. And that's a little bit tricky sometimes in San Francisco, because, yes, the day was gorgeous. It was a fabulous fall day. And if some of you might know, if you've been to San Francisco, it can be freaking cold in the summer, but the fall is the best season. It's beautiful weather there, it's mild, it's comfortable, the sun shines, and lo and behold, on the eastern horizon, fog. It was very disappointing. Nonetheless, I'm an optimist. I get my telescope, head down to the Exploratorium, set up at Pier 15 at 6 o'clock in the evening, and what happens there? Now, it's about to be showtime. So the 3 or 4 of us from the club were setting up our telescopes. I'm looking to the east and I'm thinking, It's a little bit difficult right now. And people are showing up, hey, you guys with the telescopes, cool, amateur astronomy club. Great, we're gonna hang out here and watch, you know? So little by little, there were more people showing up. And more and more. And I had set up a little microphone so I could give some announcements and talk about the eclipse a little bit. And we're there, and now it's 6:45, and there's more people, and it's 6:50, and it's still foggy, and we're like, oh shit, what do we do now? So, 7 o'clock, I say, hi, welcome to Pier 15. Glad you're here to see the eclipse with us. Let me tell you right now what's happening in the sky. Sun's out there, just setting in the west. The moon's over there, just behind the East Bay Hills. And in a few minutes, it's going to rise up, and as it rises up, it's going to be passing into the Earth's shadow. And that's going to be a supermoon basking in the glow of the shadow, because when you have a total eclipse, sometimes it's dark gray, sometimes it's kind of rusty orange, sometimes it's that blood red. But you never know what you're going to get. Depends if there's a volcano that just went off, I'm dead serious, right? Or if you have weird pollution in the sky, or God knows what. But the moon's out there, 240,000 miles away, and by God, it's going to go through the Earth's shadow now. So it's time to stand and deliver. And here we are, it's 7 o'clock. I get on the microphone, hi everyone, glad you're here. I can assure you, we've got an eclipse about to happen, but we've got that fog. So let's all be patient, hang out, it's going to be cool. We'll see it all in a few minutes. Here we go. 10 minutes later, it's 7:10. Eclipse is beginning. Get back on the microphone. Hi everyone, welcome. The crowd's getting thicker. They're getting restless. They're not happy. Like, what is going on here, right? You guys promised us an eclipse, and we're here. We did our part. Where is your part, huh? And I'm thinking, well, okay, just, you know, I gotta keep talking. I gotta kind of work the crowd right now. So, okay everyone, you know, I can tell you right now, there's an eclipse moon rising up in the east as we're standing here. We get a little fog. So I suggest everyone look across the bay. You see the Bay Bridge, you see the second tower. By the time you see the fog line right there, that's where the moon should be appearing. In about 20 minutes, I would guess. You know, let's give it 15, 20 minutes, and then we're gonna give you the eclipse. So just hang out. Now it's 7:20. Oh shit, it's not good. Get back on the microphone. Hi everyone, welcome to the eclipse. We're all here to enjoy it. It's gonna be here, I assure you, very soon. And then a little moment of inspiration happened in my pocket. And it was my phone, and it buzzed. And I looked at my phone, and I said, a note from my friend in London. Now, why would that matter at this moment in time? Because it's 7 o'clock in the evening in California. It's 3 o'clock in the morning in London. And by the way, anywhere on Earth where it's dark, where you're having night and you can see the sky, guess what you're going to see? The eclipse moon. So my friend Rebecca had just sent me a Facebook post, and what do you know? She says, look, I see the eclipse. And rather than think, that sucks, I thought, no, hang on. And I said, get on the mic, 7:20. Hey everyone, check this out. It's happening right now. Yeah? Woohoo! And I was like, look at this moon, isn't that great? And you know, there was a wave of energy through the crowd. And people thought, that's cool. And a minute later, someone says, look, New York City. And somebody else holds up their phone, look, Dallas, Texas. Another one, Los Angeles. Woohoo! West Coast, right? We're getting closer, And at 7:30, it's like, shit. This eclipse is gonna go until 8:23 p.m. We've got very little time. The minutes are ticking by. The crowd is getting a little energized, yes, but a little restless still. There's 1,000 people standing there, and I get another buzz. This time it's my friend, a couple miles away, up on a mountainside, saying, I see it, right now, over the East Bay Hills. So I go and I fumble with my telescope, and I do zoom around, and I'm pointing up in the sky, and there it was, the blood moon. And I said, okay, out loud, on the mic, I said, okay gang, it's showtime, right? And I pointed up in the sky, and like, Mother Nature was with me on this. The fog cleared, the moon emerged, and 1,000 people went, woohoo! And it was like, yeah, we're clapping. Because we are staring up into the sky. We are staring at a 4-body alignment. Because what's happening at that moment, when they're looking up in the East Bay and the moon is up there, and you're standing on planet Earth, and the sun is down just behind the horizon because it already set. Because you can't have an eclipse if the moon's up and the sun's up, right? You gotta have one down and one up. And guess what? Those are 3 bodies, and the 4th body was us, because we chose to pay attention, to go out there and be in the game, and we were. And I'll tell you what, if that's interesting for you, even a little bit, on July 27th this year, in 4 months, there will be a total lunar eclipse. In fact, the geometry is going to be a little bit different this time. The moon, instead of being at its closest, a supermoon, is going to be at its farthest. A little pipsqueak moon, so to speak, right? 22% smaller. And when it moves through the shadow, it's going to move right through the core, the deepest, darkest part of the Earth's shadow. And instead of being a 60-minute event or an 80-minute event, it's going to be a long hour and 105 minutes, an hour and 45-minute eclipse. It's going to go deep into the dark. So it may start as a copper moon or as a blood moon. It's probably going to turn into a silvery ghost moon and then reemerge. It's going to start at 9:15 in the evening. And if you're here in this city, or you're anywhere on the night side of the Earth, which is pretty much going to be around here, and you have clear skies, got to have those. That's not always easy in this city. But if you do, have fun with it. Invite some friends over. Get out your binoculars. If you have a dusty old telescope, dust it off. Take it out. Or, if the skies are clear, if it's not pouring down rain and I'm crying, I will be at the Sternwarte because I'm a member there, and we'll be setting up telescopes there, and we'll show it off to the public there. If you want to go hang out with us, right by Rosenheimerplatz, that's where we're going to be set up to show off another spectacle of nature. And I encourage you to do so.